Hello and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Battlefront Weekly. My name's Greg Henniger.
And I'm Lorenzo Valoria.
And this episode is going to be kind of a fan appreciation episode because 2 weeks ago we talked about Levolution in Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, and we got some pretty good comments, and we always appreciate you guys commenting and liking our videos and stuff, so we wanted to give back a little bit, share some of your ideas.
Yeah, so we picked some of our favorites. The first one is G3R3 Skywalker. Levolution on Hoth like Paracel Storm. The weather can change from sun to snow in a huge storm rolls through.
Yeah, kind of like the Battlefield 4 map where, you know, it's sunny at first and then a storm rolls in, knocks a ship into the island, levolutionizes the entire island.
Yeah, that would be pretty
with
sweet.
Hoth, it'd be freaking sweet if
massive blizzard just comes through, and then everyone has to like dive into the trenches or escape to Echo Base.
Yeah, your visibility's gone.
Yeah, it's kind of like the trailer for Battlefront, which is the only thing we've seen of Battlefront so far.
Pretty awesome. John Westcott says a map on Mon Calamari would be epic. With underwater cities and tubes for transport, weather could wreak havoc. Space cruisers can crash into the ocean and be used for scrap or just destroy the battlefield. And if any of the buildings or walkways get blown up, they could flood the whole sector, and underwater battles would be a great addition to the third Battlefront game, especially since we have ground and space battles already.
So there's a lot about this suggestion that I really like. First and foremost, traveling around in those tubes underwater, kind of like Futurama.
Yeah, just thunk, and you're just going around.
And just the idea also of like a crack in the window and all of a sudden like the water comes rushing in.
Yeah, kind of like a BioShock moment when you're in a tube and it just like a ship crashes through and everything just floods.
And underwater gameplay, like we haven't had any of that in the Battlefront games.
Yeah, there's some mention of it in like the expanded universe. The Star Wars Legacy comics talk about like underwater battles, and there was a couple of scenes in the animated series with Kit Fisto.
Oh, the Clone Wars TV show.
Clone Wars, So if the game explored that, it'd be super sweet.
Yeah, very cool suggestion. Chrissy DeBlack says you could have someone take control of the Death Star, turn on the hyperdrive, and smash it into the planet that everyone's fighting on.
This comment was just hilarious. We had to put it up there. It was awesome.
I just can't get this mental visual out of my mind where you're battling, then you look up and you just see the Death Star careening straight towards the planet that you're on.
It'd be awesome.
That would be crazy.
Sturl40 says the Death Star destroys a planet and suddenly you have a ton of debris to dodge and fight through. And I'm assuming that he's talking about you're in a space battle, you're in your own spaceship, and the Death Star is just there, blows up Alderaan, and then there's like an asteroid field that you have to weave through as you're battling.
That is a great Levolution idea. It just completely changes the map and changes everything about how you have to play that level.
Yeah, it'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So those were the comments from our Levolution episode. We also had our Would You Rather question of the week from last week. And the question was, would you rather have Luke Skywalker as your dad?
Or Han Solo as your father? We had some really good answers too.
97 Marin says, baddest dad ever, Han, or the most boring ever, Luke. The choice is made by itself, Boba Fett.
So it just went neither.
Yeah.
Mar Hamilton, Han, because Chewie would protect me, and he has awesome hair.
He does have awesome hair.
Does Han have awesome hair, or is Chewie?
I don't know.
They both have some pretty awesome hair.
They have great hair either way. Night Tracker 02, Han Solo for sure, because A, he is a stud, so like father, like son.
Fair.
And B, I get a cool ass ship once he retires from being a boss.
That's all Han Solo does. He's just out there being a boss. Player Guy NR1 says, totally Han Solo, because then I would have a Wookiee as an uncle.
Yeah, awesome.
Thinking outside the box. All right, and so we have a new question of the week this week. Which game would you rather have rebooted? Star Wars TIE Fighter
or Star Wars Rogue Squadron?
They are both awesome games, and we would love to see both of them rebooted. But
personally, I don't know myself. So.
It's a hard question, and so we're going to kick it over to you guys. So let us know in the comment section down below which one you would rather see rebooted. And make sure you like, subscribe, do all those great things to our social media channels, and we'll see you next time.
May the Force be with you.
If you want to watch last week's episode of Star Wars Battlefront Weekly, click right up here. If you want to watch last week's episode of Pokemon XY Weekly, click right down there. Somebody press the buttons on the side and get me the hell out of here.